Now, what is the crack, everybody? Thanks very much for tuning in to this episode of the DWIG podcast. Just a couple of things I want to plug before we get into the conversation with Daragh. A couple of technical difficulties happened on the night, and when you're watching the interview, you'll hear me like stutter and stammer a bit at the start, and that's purely because there was so much going on here. And to be honest with you, I realise when I'm doing these podcasts with other people, I definitely need to get myself a producer, as me and Daragh talk about in the podcast itself. Now, however, I do have a live event coming up, so if you like this conversation and you would think you would like to see this conversation happen live, I have a live podcast happening in the TLT Theatre in Drogheda on the 25th of March this month, which is a Saturday night. Tickets are €20 plus the booking fee on www.thetlt.ie. I will leave a link in the description below so you can purchase your tickets there. I'd absolutely love to have you. There's only a couple of tickets left as I put this out on my social media a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't had a minute to put it up on YouTube, so I'd be absolutely delighted to have you, and I have a couple of special guests. I'll leave all the poster and stuff like this up here so you can see for yourself. However, I'd love to have you, so if you're interested in buying a ticket and you're around Drogheda on the 25th of March, I think the door's open at like 6:30 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I'm brutal at plugging me on gigs, haven't I? But yeah, and I also want to thank Daragh for coming on the show because it was so rushed and we had very little time to get it done. And I just wanted to thank him for coming on. He was an absolute gentleman and a scholar, and hopefully we get to do this again in the future. And he has let me know a little slight promise that he might turn up to the show in the TLT. So yeah, guys, anyway, I'm going to get you into this podcast and enjoy. Thanks a million for tuning in, and I'll see you again on the next one. Daragh, thanks a million for coming up.
No bother.
I'm after proclaiming the Mead man himself up to another part of Mead, coming up for a podcast. But Daragh, thanks a million for coming up. I don't even need to introduce him really. That's the Guinness Guru. He's the wizard that involves tasting this stuff. And,
Clueless wizard.
Yeah, a man that has surpassed nearly 400,000 followers on TikTok and over 50,000 on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny. I always say I'm actually prouder to have 50,000 on YouTube than like even if I had 10 million on TikTok, because you know TikTok is literally like you could get. I got 300,000 followers on TikTok in the space of like a month. Yeah. Whereas YouTube was and that was just like boom. Whereas YouTube was kind of the slow sort of.
And you know when you first started out, sorry, do you mind? Would you pour me a pint? I'd be honoured if you pour me a pint.
If you pour me a pint,
I'll pour you right. Fair enough. I gave you the old style glass because I feel like an absolute criminal if I gave you that one.
So this is yours.
That's my one. I'll pour your one, right?
I'd say they're both old style. That's just like the one you get from.
Yeah,
from
but there's no harp and there's no way of absolutely testing it, because you know the way you love the old shtick and the old what's it called again? The old no, I left them sitting out here for about 2 hours just to try and set them.
Into the perfect temperature.
Yeah, I know. That's what I had them in the fridge, and I knew you'd be a fussy man.
You're just going for slam dunk. It's gas. I've done so many fucking.
The bubbles in the head are a bollocks, but sure, look, come here.
I'm just going for the classic. We'll show the camera. I've done so many methods of this can pouring. Like during COVID, it was the only content I could do because I couldn't go to the pubs. So I've kind of just come to the conclusion that it doesn't really fucking matter.
See this, yeah? I know the amount of bubbles in this head, yeah. You're going to ring the guards on me, yeah.
There's more in mine than yours.
Well, sure, there you are now. Because I found with that, I was like, because I was watching all your TikToks at the time and I was trying all the fancy pours. And I remember when you were trying out at the start that, like, you were pinning a hole in the top of them and then putting them in the shakers and all that. Do you remember all that?
It was just pure shite. And do you remember the fucking jewellery cleaner thing?
Yeah.
Like, because
everyone bought them. They're all in Aldi now for like €13. I only seen them the other day.
What?
Oh, sure. Oh, sorry.
Calm it down, Ian.
Amateur.
Fucking hell.
You're lucky, man. You're already out having 5 points already.
Yeah.
So I was sitting here. I was sitting here. Do you ever get, before you do any of your podcasts, that your anxiety needs to be through the roof there, just thinking about all the stuff that you have to ask? And then when you sit down, you're actually like.
And do you not have notes?
No, man, not. I know, on the fly, man. On the fly. We don't do any of that around here.
I think that's the way to go, because like I've had like fucking 3 different podcasts now. I wouldn't say all failed because I've learned different things from them, but even the podcast that I was doing, I just called it the Guinness Guru show, and I get people on and we drink a pint and all that sort of shit. But I'd have notes and I'd have it written there, and I just found that when you were kind of trying to look at the notes, it would just...
It put a pause nearly on the conversation.
It would, and you're just kind of waiting for them to finish, and then instead of going off of what they've said, you're just going off the notes. Yeah. So like to become a good interviewer is definitely, I think,
On the fly.
As hard as as mad as it sounds, to just not have any notes. Just do your research, know about the person.
That's literally what I was about to say, because I was lucky in your cases that you've been on a couple of podcasts before this.
Yeah.
And I listened to them all, and I shout out the lads, the Hard Chats lads. What was the other one you were on? I listened to a lot of your own ones as well. I listened to all the ones that you did, and I was just like, so if we can do that, pick up a bit of information. So I'm not asking you like, how did you get started and all again? Because I'm sure you're sick of explaining yourself. Oh, jeez, they look lovely.
Yeah. Sláinte, lad.
Sláinte.
That's what you get with the cans. You don't get the domage on top because
They're
for
real
some
hollow
fucking
on top.
reason the cans are 500ml and the pint glass is 568. Why is that? We'll never know. What's sláinte?
I will have to do the old gulp, sorry. I'll end up just choking.
The road mics pick up the gulp nice.
But first thing I wanted to ask you was, so you're now full-time social media man.
Full-time influencer wanker, yeah.
There's no pay slip coming in every week from the 9 to 5. You decided to go.
Exactly, yeah. So I would have been a painter, decorator. So I just turned 30. I would have been a painter, decorator from about. Story goes, I went away for like a year to New Zealand, bit of Asia, all that stuff, getting cultured.
Yeah, oh sure, look.
Getting cultured, and then when I felt cultured enough, I came home when I was about 24. Got a job randomly with a mate because I was just like, I didn't want to go back to my old job. I got a job with one of my mates who I played rugby with, a couple of years older than me.
Just doing the paint and decorating?
Paint and decorating, yeah. Never fucking picked up a paintbrush in my life. And
That's what I was about to ask you. Did you not have to do a 4-year thing with?
Not with painting.
Paint
It's not like fuck. It's not like
slapping the stick against the wall.
Yeah, slap it on, lad. Absolutely slap it on. So I just messaged him because I knew he was a painter. Oops, Alex.
Oh, there's the microphones.
The fake mics. Yeah. I knew he was a painter. Yeah. I knew he was a painter, and he had kind of just gone out by himself. Is the problem with when you're drinking on the podcast? He's been hiccuping, and I've just had 3 pints.
There's an out bottle of water. You don't have to drink it. I did it purely for the effect.
I don't know, I'll fucking drink it. Happily. I'm just saying, whenever I do any sort of content, it's like, what? But, yeah, so I, literally, he was like, yeah, I have a couple of, he was like, I have this job that's a bit bigger than I thought, so come on. That was literally March 2016. I was with him until October 2021. And I was always just trying to, like, I started Guinness Guru kind of end of summer 2019. I think from the chat we had before, Ian, I think I'm a bit like yourself, just mad to try your hand at anything.
Yeah.
Like I remember coming home from New Zealand and I just wrote down on a piece of paper like all the different things that I've any sort of interest in.
Yeah.
That I could possibly see a career in. The first one was...
When you went away to New Zealand, like, did you feel like you were going away, well, obviously for the travelling, like, but did you feel like you were like lost as an individual? Like, you're like, what the fuck am I at with myself? Or
probably not that deep because I was supposed to be going away to play rugby.
Right.
And then I fucked my shoulder and I said, well, I've got these plane tickets bought. I can wait around and get surgery and all this shit. And I said, fuck the rugby, I'm just going to go by myself. I was actually quite shy. I wouldn't say shy, I don't know, I never know how to describe myself. I was back in it, like if you put me into a group of people now, I'd be fucking not a bother on me.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, I had a real problem with like breaking that initial contact.
Yeah. And did you feel like awkward whenever you did have an interchange or whenever you tried to chirp in?
Very much. Like,
it sounds very similar to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's gas when I think back because I'm so like, people would say I'm so outgoing and sociable now and I just wasn't like that at all when I was like say 2021. And when I went to New Zealand, I always say to people like, if you ever do anything, go and travel by yourself. I didn't really do it by choice, it kind of just fell in front of me. But when I went away, I was in hostels, I had to you'd be there. You just feel like you're going to be a creep going up to people.
Yeah.
And then, like if you're in a hostel with like 50 people in a big kitchen and everyone
knows each other.
Everyone knows each other, but they've just met each other. So then you just kind of gradually start talking to people and then it was grand. So I definitely say that benefited me. But then yeah, came home, was planning on doing literally a couple of days with your man. And then shout out GK Paint and Deck. It was literally like I did the first day, he was like, oh yeah, come back tomorrow or whatever. And then it was just the same again. And
that was it then?
Yeah, you're fucking swamping that point.
No,
thirsty man.
I'm thirsty, so you're 5 points ahead of me, so I wish I was like that. But what was I going to say?
True.
So with the paint and decorating then, and then did you always have an interest to do the videos? Because I heard a few other your podcasts that you followed the Dave Partner route. Obviously, yeah. I love what he's done with Barstow, that's class. Yeah. But like, did you always think that you were going to pick up a camera and do something? Like, was that always an interest?
Not
to
necessarily.
Do it?
So remember I was saying there, I wrote down like different things that I had any sort of interest because I always just wanted to be able to, it wasn't even about money as cliche as it sounds. It was always just, I want to be able to get up on a Monday morning and go to work and just be like, I don't mind this.
Yeah, this is grand.
This is grand. I don't have to be like, I can't wait to go. But just, I've had literally like 10 different jobs, and you wake up on a Monday morning or you're just there on a Sunday night and you're like, oh, hassle going in tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And I just was like, if I can find something where I don't have that, then I'll be grand.
Yeah.
And then off the back of that, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll probably make a few bob because you're going to be...
Yeah, especially if you have an interest in it. Like, if people will see that you're interested in it, and then IE will eventually lead to money, like, no matter what it is.
Yeah, so I wrote down, like going to the gym, I like organising events, I like kind of editing videos, and I like making my own videos.
Yeah.
So I tried the first three. I got my personal trainer. The day I got back from New Zealand, I signed up for a personal trainer course, fitness course, got a job in the gym, did it for about a year. This is all while I'm doing the painting. So I was literally like painting, say 8 to 5, and then going working in the gym like 6 to 10. Like, it was crazy, and working on the weekends. But I was like 24, 25. I was at that age where I was just like, this is great.
Grinding,
I just want to be doing shit all the time, like 24/7. And then after like a year, I thought, actually not too. I like the gym, but I'm not mad on this, like in terms of actually working in the gym. Then while I was working in the gym and doing the painting, I was trying to do events. I ran a couple of charity events. They went well. Then I ran an event.
Charity events, was that through the old rugger, or what was?
That was just like a couple up the Gar Club, a couple up the Rugby Club. Just like one was like a blind date thing. One was just like a Stephen's Day. Like Stephen's Day in my hometown, Ashburn, is like the biggest day of the year. Yeah. So literally just a DJ and a fucking singer and all. But easy to get people when it's charity. But then when I try to do an event for myself,
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it was a bit of a different story. And I think it was on the same night as like 5 different concerts around Dublin or something. So
fuck's sake, yeah.
It was like,
but there's never, even with events, like I found that when I'm organising my own live event here now at the moment, I find like there's never, I had to come to terms with myself, like there's never a right time to do it. No. There's never a perfect place to have it. You just have to fucking hope it works out, you know what I mean?
If you go on Google and you look up like, I don't know, concert dates in Dublin, there'll always be fucking, I think Westlife was on the night, and Longitude as well or something, but there'll always be something else on. But yeah, I wouldn't even have any advice for running events because it is a cutthroat industry. I've always wanted to do...
And what were the events, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so the first one was a blind date thing. So that was great, like it was like a curtain and all, and I had like one of my mates would come out and there'd be 3 girls there and everyone
And did you get the shift? Did you go on yourself, or what was
I didn't go myself, I was hosting it now. I was hosting it. But a few lads got the shift, but I don't think it fucking went anywhere.
Was it like, what's your man's name, Paddy something in England, or is it?
No, that's Take Me Out.
Take Me Out,
So it was like, do you remember?
There it is.
Do you remember the show from fucking No Lackey, No Lackey? Do you remember that show from years ago? It was called Blind Date. It was doing God, she used to always wear black. She was like a Scouse L1. I think she died recently. Like Celia fucking something. Like,
I fucking know exactly who it was, but I can't remember.
And she was like, all right, bye number 1. And it was just the exact same thing. And I just thought, I'll do this for charity, blah, blah, blah. And then I did like a St. Patrick's Day thing in a rugby. And it was always because it was for charity, like people would show up and you get like 300-400 people and it'd be great. But then when I try to do my own one, I still to this day think it's a great concept, and I wouldn't be surprised if I tried it again in the future. I called it disco darts.
Right.
So you know the way the darts is
it's getting real popular.
The darts is fucking mental. Like it's basically like a disco.
Yeah, everyone's like da, 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 da. Yeah.
So my thing was I had like 12 or 16 different lads signed up, and it was like a little competition between them, and I had like a camera rigged up so that you could see on a big screen. It was in like a function room. You could see on a big screen.
Was it in Ashburn? Or
it was in Ashburn, yeah, Ashburn Gar Club. Same place I did the other stuff. And then it was like, it was a kind of a competition between the lads, and I kind of had people could come up and stuff. But again, like, probably got about 100 people at it, which was grand.
That's loads, man.
It was loads, but just compared to the stuff I'd done before, and I ended up losing a couple of grand on it, and the stress I had over like insurance and all, because there was darts being thrown. I just remember thinking like,
fuck this.
No, fuck this. There must be an easier way.
I was thinking the same with my own, but I was lucky when you go with the venue, they have their own insurance, so you don't even have to worry about insurance. You're looking after the venue, but there is also other things. I had to fucking get an MC, and I'm trying to find an MC.
Are you talking about like a live podcast?
Yeah, my live podcast. It's in the end of the 25th March. You're more than welcome to come down if you want.
Plug it up.
I'll put you on the VIP guest list. There'll be me and another fella.
But where is it on?
It's on the TLT there in Daragh.
And what sort like are you expecting?
So I've had a couple of my friends on before. They're big in their own industry. So there was another guy, Dan, who I had him in here before Christmas, but we tried to sit in here before Christmas, man, and it was fucking Baltic. I'm not joking. It must have been -4. Remember when we got the -4, -5 degrees? We were sitting out here.
Because it's chilly enough in here, and it's like 8 or 9 degrees outside.
That's meant to be a heater, yeah. There's nothing but blowing cold air at the moment.
Some heat out of that.
I bought that. I was like, that'll do now, and it's I might as well turn it off. It's doing nothing, but
it's grand.
But the live podcast thing was like something I just said. It was like you wrote it down on a list, and I said it about 3 years ago. Something I wanted to do anyway, and I felt like the platform. I got into that space where I could easily sell maybe 100 tickets, and I was like, grand. Now, was it that easy? No, it fucking wasn't. And on top of doing a million other things at the same time, which are look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as I was asking you about, the event that you do, so you never do it again, would you not? Like,
not saying I'd never. I would do it if I had like I've.
I tell you should do your own live podcast night in like the Star House or something. I tell you, you'd sell thousands.
No, I definitely have ideas to do something where maybe I have like a keg and a fucking tapping all up on the stage, but there could be something in the works, but can't say too much for now.
Do the whole Instafuck thing. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Massive announcement coming, but I don't know when it'll be, and it might never happen. But massive announcement coming. But then so that was like right, fitness, no, events, no, and then the last two kind of things were both involving like video. So I reached out to a couple of people who were doing concerts and stuff, and I said, like, I had a half decent camera, and I wouldn't say I even knew how to edit. I knew the very basics of editing. And I was doing my own kind of thing on YouTube, just pure shite. And I said, I'll do you a free edit. And they're like, yeah, grand. And in a real egotistical way, I was just like, I was filming these other people. Just like,
you're shy. I do it better myself.
I just wanted to, like, at the risk of sounding like a fucking wanker, I was like, I'd like to think I'm fairly creative, but like I like to be in control of everything.
Very similar to myself,
so it's like I want to be on the camera and behind the camera and editing and doing everything. So the last thing was like just making kind of content is the big word these days. So like I've done so much different stuff. Like at the start I was doing just like a rip-off thing of carpool karaoke. Yeah. And I was just, because the first one I ever did was to promote one of those events, and it got like.
Was that around the same time, like 2019, like same
This
year?
was probably 2018, and it got like 5,000 views on Facebook. I was like, fucking hell, unbelievable.
That's it, viral, lads. Sorted.
And then I started doing it on YouTube, and they got about 50 views. And I would literally it was crazy. I would get people. There was a couple of rappers, like not big names now, but that sounds like a dig, but just not. Not huge big rappers in Ireland. But like I would learn I'd learn 3 or 4 songs. It would take me weeks. I would have the camera in the car. I'd be filming myself and them, and then I'd have to go off and edit the whole thing, and then you put it up on YouTube and literally get 100, 200 views.
Dies, yeah.
Yeah, and then.
Sorry, I'm gonna crack another can.
No, you go for that. I'm fucking full of points for you. Play on. And then. Yeah, then Guinness Guru came along.
And like, where did you were saying that the idea came from Dave Portnoy? Yeah. Like, did you always drink Guinness like before that? Like, was it like a thing where you're like, I got 100? That's fucking disgusting. But sure, come here, was saying.
Well, you see that? See, like some people. I'll answer your question. I haven't forgotten it. But people would argue like when you're drinking pints at home. Yeah. This was a big thing during COVID. Like, would you clean the glass every time, or would you just keep launching them in?
Straight into the dishwasher and in she guts.
Yeah, but like.
After every glass, like. Yeah. No, I started thinking about that recently. I do lives on YouTube on a Friday night for me and whatever the fucking small community there on a Friday night that has a few drinks, and I started changing the glasses and then whatever, rinse them out, clean them out, and then I was like, the second you add water to it, and if you don't dry it completely, then the head just dies on its arse. Like.
Yeah,
so
it's all grimy looking on the side now, whereas these look grand. And see what you've poured that. Now you've got a bit of a dome.
I know. Sure,
it sounds gross, but that's because you've got the sort of remnants. You've probably got like a couple, 20 or 30 mil hanging out from the last pint.
The dome kind of looks like a council estate speed bump at the moment. You know
what I mean? It really does.
It's seen better.
I didn't say it looks like a good dome.
Hang on.
You don't even want to look at it from this fucking angle.
You know when you just get paranoid about camera equipment? You just have to double check. I was there thinking this whole time. I was like,
show them the speed bump.
Yeah, go on, show them that. That is filth.
I don't want to lean it too much. A little bit of a tilt test.
Hey.
Pure froth. Jack Froth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so we were saying about, literally the way I got started was there's a guy, I always have to give him a shout out, Colin Maylad, aka Colsey, who was always, he's from Ashburn, a few years older than me. I just kind of knew him through GA, he would have been more of a friend of my brother's, but we wouldn't have been mates or anything like, and I think he saw my story, I put up a story being like, I'm not going to do it was called Buckle Up, the rip-off of James Corden. I was like, I'm not going to do it anymore. This is me telling my 200 Instagram followers. And I think he saw that. He was like, do you know this fella Dave Portnoy? And I was like, literally never, Slancha. I'd never, like I love Barstool Sports, but I'd never heard of it up until 2019. And he goes, and there was a couple of Guinness pages there. There was Guinness Advisor.
There's shit points of Guinness in London. Do you know that
I
page?
think that was about the same time.
Yeah.
But Shit London Guinness was never really doing reviews. It was just kind of funny pictures.
Yeah.
But Guinness Advisor was there. But the thing is, Cozy wasn't even on Instagram. He just saw the pizza thing that Dave Portnoy was doing. So if you don't know, Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, he was going around just eating pizza around Manhattan. A man responsible for probably the most revenue generating network that's like less than 5-10 years old. Yeah. Is it even that? Well, Barstool, I think it's gone since like 2004 or something. Oh, is it really? It's only making money the last like 6-7 years. Yeah, like the only reason I know about who he is, you know your one caller, Daddy, did you ever hear that podcast? That's the only reason I found out. I seen that, I was like, and then I started watching what Dave Portnoy was doing, the people he was signing, I was like, this fella's fucking genius, like he knows exactly what he's doing. Like. Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like, and yeah, so Cozy was like to me, I think this could work with Guinness, just literally going, because it's such a simple concept. Your man just literally eats pizza, he's done 1,000 videos and he just eats it and scores it, and you think that's so boring, but it's not boring because he's it's a new thing every time. Yeah, he's entertaining. That's the sort of USP or whatever. So, but even if you were dead boring with it, it's just like the whole concept of it is like you don't know what's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Like that's it, and that's what keeps people triggered in. And I have to say, I say it on camera because I told it inside. I was a big fan of what you were doing, and like. The way you're doing it as well, it's absolutely genius. What you, as you were saying, you tried loads of different things before this, but what you hit on here is absolutely fucking genius. Like, and the whole concept of it, and even remember I texted you, I said go to this place in Dundalk, the Rumhouse shout out party. But like he was telling me, he says there's a WhatsApp group of like bartenders in Dundalk, and he was telling me they're all going fucking mental that you're up there. Like I was like, that's fucking brilliant. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's such a weird thing. Like, it's such an Irish thing. You wouldn't get away with it. I don't think in any other country. Like no matter what it was. Like it's just like on one hand of it, you'd have people who would hear that and say, "Oh, that's really cool, fair play to them." And then obviously you'd have other people who would be like, "That's so stupid, fucking idiot." And but them same people are the people that are absolutely depressed out of their head. Yeah, well, I wouldn't even blame them as well, because if I saw some cunt just going around drinking pints for a living, I'd be a bit, and I was in a job I wasn't mad on, I would also be just like, fucking arsehole. But again, it's just people probably not too happy with fucking arsehole, and then they watch that whole thing and then they reference every point that they didn't like about it. But that's the great thing, like, when people, not that I get much hate, but like, it's the person who despises you will watch you more than the person who doesn't really care. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, because they like want to see you fucking just do something bad. Like, I know you drink in that pub every weekend. I want to see what he has to say about it. And then he probably go, Joe, he's actually pretty right there. But that's all. I like to think that people come across my stuff, maybe someone shot and they go, fucking gobshite. And then they kind of watch a few videos and go, he's all right. I remember the first video I ever seen was you. It was with the jewellery cleaner. Yeah. And I was watching that. I was like, this is brilliant. Because I didn't even drink Guinness at the time. At the time, it was me, COVID, right? And I fell down the stairs, pissed drunk at me man's 50th and broke my ankle. So that's why I was doing nothing. So I was watching TikTok and I was like, oh, jeez, this is brilliant. And then followed you on TikTok and then watched everything there. And then seeing the YouTube thing, and I was actually delighted when you went on YouTube, because YouTube for me, I've been doing YouTube for a long time now. I don't, like with you now, it's like you have something every week and you can keep it consistently. But just with what I do, I cannot do that. Like same with a podcast, as I was saying to you. And when I seen you do YouTube, I was absolutely delighted, because YouTube is the perfect home for something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you feel the same about YouTube. It's like YouTube is the best. I think it's the best platform out of every one of them. Facebook, Instagram, 100%. TikTok, the whole lot of them, and everyone that's on it and that subscribes to it is genuine. I don't know. I just think it's the genuine platform. I think it's the best place to live, like on the internet. Like I said to you, like when you gave me that great introduction, you said 400,000 on TikTok, and I like. Means fuck all, though, doesn't it? It really means, and that's not. I'm not sorry. I'm not taking a dig at you, but no, but even if I say that's not like, obviously I appreciate the fact that I have 400,000 followers on TikTok, but it's like that went from 0 to 300,000 in about 3 months, and then it's taken like 3 years to get up to another 100,000. Whereas YouTube has just been slow. And anyone I meet who is making fucking content and doing other platforms, they always say to me, fuck me, fair play, man, you cracked the YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried to do YouTube, and people tried, and they try to do vlogs, and I think I've cracked it. 50,000. It's not like I've a million.
50,000, man, means a million TikTok followers at least.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah. And I think the reason I've gotten it is because it's a bit of a niche.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what you're getting.
But
you know he's going to go somewhere different every week.
But it's like a thing where your thing is like no one else can even replicate that.
Yeah.
Not with Guinness, not in Ireland. You couldn't do it. Like it's not a thing. Like you know, like you are now officially the guru. Like,
yeah, and there is.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's when you said that about YouTube being the best one. Definitely for me, because there's loads of people on Instagram. Now, the good thing for me is most of them are private, and that was always what or not private, like anonymous.
Yeah.
And that's what I always thought would be my niche in a niche. The niche is reviewing Guinness.
Yeah.
And my niche in that niche was that I actually show my face.
Yeah.
There's pretty much... Like,
everyone else just takes
a picture. At the time, there was no one else. To take a picture, they could say, I'm in Ian's house... Like anonymously, I'm in Ian's gaff. It's an absolute shithole. The toilet is a state. He's a wanker. The pint is shy.
Yeah.
And fuck off home, and they don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Whereas if I say that, you'll come and fucking murder me.
Yeah.
So I have to be a bit more sort of. I'd be honest, but I might say pint wasn't great, but lovely setup he has here. Like, and I think people appreciate actually seeing a face instead of just.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like even when I review trucks. I know Daragh, by the way, is very new to my YouTube video, so he doesn't really know them. So I have to kind of reference them. Right? No, nothing against you, right? But I have to tell you just for reference. Like, so I used to get a lot of demonstrators off truck brands and stuff like that to review, like kind of exact same what you do. Yeah. But you can't first of all. You don't want to give a bad review, do you? Like every time you go out there,
especially if they're kind of giving it to you.
Yeah, I say when you give you the free point, but like at least you'd say, right, okay, anyone can buy that any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I was getting trucks off manufacturers, and these things are like €200,000 worth of a unit, like so.
Tricky business,
right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, so I did the review, and usually I charge nothing for it. I'd never charged anyone for anything. But then I says, right, okay, I'll do one for free for everybody for the minute, because like it's not a fiver. Like this thing is 200 grand, and for me to go out there and say like this is a brilliant joke, and even I wouldn't even give a fake review. I'd say I wouldn't like it now, but it'd be fantastic for whoever.
Yeah, you always kind of.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, because that's not my style. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want someone to do it to me, so I would never do it to someone else. Technical issues happened, and me and Daragh were talking for about 20 minutes, and nothing was recording, as usual with these podcasts. Do you know what I mean?
I think we could probably sum it up as you asked me about the whole relationship with Guinness.
Yeah.
And to give the quick answer,
no.
There's no relationship. They sent me a couple of things. I gave my honest opinion. They're probably not too mad on an honest opinion. And there's never been a relationship. And then I used the worst kind of, what is it, a metaphor?
Look at the absolute vert rant.
Holy fucking Christ, that is literally ice cream sundae.
Oh, come here, look. But
I used the metaphor basically like that the way the earth and the sun revolve around each other, never crossing paths, but sort of helping each other. And that's the relationship with me and Guinness. We'll probably never work together, and that's fine. And
the worst thing was, I actually linked in with a fucking beautiful synopsis of everything to link back to that story.
Yeah.
And none of it got recorded. Fucking typical.
And also he thought Guinness Clear was an actual drink, but it's actually just a pint of water.
So I went to the Guinness Storehouse, right? And as I was saying to him just there, obviously it wasn't fucking recording, right? But I went to the Guinness Storehouse, and they had this thing on tap called, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was Guinness Clear or Guinness Blonde. Fairly sure.
Is there any fucking...
There'll be no service in here
no
now.
service around this fucking...
See this, I swear to God, this is the tinfoil hat wearing's best, I don't know, it'd be the nicest, it'd be their Airbnb of choice if you had a tinfoil hat, do you know what I mean? Conspiracy theories.
There's fucking nothing going on
There's
here.
nothing, I swear, I don't know, whatever the panels are all made of, you can't get any signal here. Like.
Yeah.
And around where we live here, there's literally no signal anywhere apart from up here in this part of the driveway. Like in the house, no one can ring me at all. It's a terrible ordeal, of course. No one can ring me, no one can text me. It's fucking dreadful, it is. But where was I going back to with the old historians? So, how are you finding being a full-time point man? Do you enjoy the shite out of it? Does it? Basically, the reason why I'm asking is because I would love to do it one day myself.
Yeah.
And I aspire to you. I love what you do. I'm like, jeez, I see that man there now. He's able to pay his rent. He's able to fucking live and enjoy himself and make the videos. Like, is it a lovely life, or are you stressed out all the time, or watch the story?
I wouldn't say I'm stressed out anyway. Like I've always said,
You don't come across as a man that'd be stressed.
I just want like a life where few bob, pay me rents, someday buy a gaff, fucking have me missus, great kids, and if I've loads of money, great. If I have a bit of money, grand. I really couldn't give a shit. Like once I'm not struggling.
Yeah.
And I've always said that's what I would like to my career to be. Not like I've had times where like I want to build this big company and all, and then I'm just like, but that would come with stress.
Yeah.
I just like if it's got to be stressed, then I couldn't be arsed. And obviously, what I'm doing now is ideal. The grass is always greener. So I'm not saying I want to go back to my old job ratting, but it's like when I was painting, you knew your schedule. You fucking go to the gym beforehand. You go to work. You get home. You do this. You do that, and that was your schedule. And then you give that up, and all of a sudden you're your own boss. And I'd be a hard worker, but like if no one's pushed me, I could be lazy as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it definitely took a few months, even up until now. To be honest, I've been kind of.
So how long are you at it officially? Like, is it a year? Would it be a year?
By myself, like a year since October 21. So what's that? Nearly a year and a half.
Yeah, it'd be a year and a half. Yeah.
And like I've been able to pay me rent since then, so
Well,
it's going all right.
Yeah, the landlord hasn't put me on me yet.
Like you would definitely. People probably would think like, even they look at the Instagram, it's like 120,000 followers, and it'd be like, people. I was only watching,
making a fortune.
I was only watching a thing about people who were on Love Island and they got all these followers, but they actually didn't make any money. And it was just a great quote, and it's pretty obvious, but it's like, followers don't equal money. It's about kind of who's representing you and all this sort of shit. But overall, like, it's absolutely grand.
Like, and you're obviously solely independent yourself. There's now like, because a lot of, with social media, especially like you would talk, you know a lot of social media people. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking fakery, a lot of shit that ain't real. But you are the Guinness Guru on your own.
I think the reason.
I'm not judging anyone, by the way, but because I know I've been around the social media for a while, and you have yourself. You know that there's people out there that like are just 100% like it's all fucking not real, really. I know a few of them, like, but
definitely, but it's great for me because I don't have that pressure. Like I don't.
You don't need to put yourself.
When you look at my content, I'm not there like Mr. fucking perfect, and like I have no problem saying I don't give a shit about fashion. Like I don't think I dress terribly, but I just dress normal. I don't have any sort of pressure to look fucking like a certain and to do this. And the great thing for me is because I don't, like, I'll just go on my story, my hair, I look half fucking bald, I don't give a shit, whatever. Yeah. And then you see me in real life and you're like, well, he looks the same.
It's just the exact same, yeah.
A lot of people, unfortunately, before they even post a story, they'll fucking do their makeup and make their hair and all this. And then you see them in person, like, Jesus. Well, I think that's the appeal for me. Obviously, like, the biggest compliment I can get that people will give me, there's two biggest compliments I can get. One is that people will be like, oh, my old lad is 70 and he doesn't know what Instagram is, or he doesn't know what YouTube is, but he asked me to make an account to watch your videos. I'd be like, that's insane.
That's class though, isn't it?
That is unbelievable. And then the second thing is when people say, I don't like Guinness, but I enjoy your videos. Yeah. Because that means I'm thinking, well, obviously I'm not, like, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be making Guinness content till I'm 100 years old.
Yeah.
But I always
otherwise
want to be
your liver look like a block of cheddar cheese or SpongeBob or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Iron Man's jizz filling fucking
oh, fuck, that never even made it in.
Oh, you won't get that reference
Fuck's
at all
sake.
then. What was we were talking about the nitro surge?
Yeah, I taste the nitro surge and I feel like Iron Man jizz down my throat as I feel like mechanical after it the next day. I wake up.
That was actually my joke, he's stealing it.
I wake up the next day speaking like Wally, I do.
Oh, fuck's sake. But yeah, so that obviously.
You don't worry, keep going.
No, check her the fuck.
Fucking paranoia to bits would have you in an awful way.
It literally is just giving me absolute PTSD from a podcast I did and it just kept cutting off. We good?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I hate doing that, man, because you feel like, do you know what the best thing is? At least I know you know the fucking crack. But people, if you've ever tried to do a podcast, trust me, it's the fucking hardest cutting thing ever to do.
You need a producer.
Yeah,
if I ever do one again, I'm going to have some fucking little bollocks sitting behind that thing and I'll be like,
make sure she's
if that goes off, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. Let me know if you ever need a producer, I'll give you a hand with it and you're more than welcome.
Grant. But basically I was saying, it's great when people say, I like your content even though I don't like Guinness, because that means, for me, that gives me confidence going forward because I want to do other content.
Here's a compliment for you. I never drank Guinness in my life, right? Up until it was 2021. I've been watching your videos for at least a year anyway.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas time, driving past Boyles and Slane. Would you know it? Did you ever go into it? I'm surprised you haven't gone into it now.
No.
At the time,
I know Slane now.
Boyles is like literally, it's on the crossroads, literally just at the traffic lights, right?
Yeah.
So I went in there, this is when I first moved here actually. Went in there, little brother, went in and I says, after watching your videos for fucking a year, as I says, what's the Guinness like in here? Because I was like, is it
You said it to the barman?
Yeah, I said, is it 7.8?
I mean, I love that. It's like as if he's going to go, it's fucking desperate.
No.
Don't bother.
And here, the fella that owns it, an absolute fucking gentleman, John,
Yeah.
absolute gentleman. I've been in there millions of times since.
Yeah.
He says, the Guinness rep was only in last week. We're only have to get all new lines and everything, blah, blah, blah. And he says, literally, today is the first day that the line is open.
Okay.
And I was like, absolutely fantastic. And you know
You're
the way...
like, pretend you know what any of that means.
No, right? Yeah, I was like, shh,
Lions, yeah.
I said to me, brother, it's definitely a 7.8 at least, right? Right? And he poured me a pint. And I swear, you know the way you always say the first point is gack? The first point couldn't have been nicer, I swear to God. And I was like, and literally it was since that day, I can't drink lager or nothing, I can't drink any other beer at all, I can only drink the Guinness, because if I drink the lager, man, I'd be blow at the fuck. I look like Jeremy Clarkson with a football belly, like, do you know what I mean?
Man, it's so funny because, like, for lack of sounding egotistical, it just is, and it's not just me, it's other it's just Guinness social media in general. Like, I saw a stat that Guinness's sales went up by like 38%.
I would imagine, yeah.
From like, say 2018 to like 2022
and
or something.
I would guarantee
Like,
that
that's
you're
an-
99% Saudi policy.
Insane jump.
Yeah.
For a product that was always unbelievably popular.
And I can tell you, man, as a man that's in the logistical network of Ireland, I know the people that do Guinness, like supply, like put it everywhere in the world. That from James's Gate, and I'll tell you, they have so one logistical company in Remark. I'm not going to say who their name is but they know who they are.
Yeah.
They have bought 25 more lorries just to do Guinness work in Dublin.
It's
right?
fucking mental.
And this is in 3 years. In England, they bought 10 new lorries to distribute the trailers that are leaving St James's Gate, going to Dublin Port, landing in Liverpool, and then getting distributed all around the UK. The UK apparently has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
I am a man that supplies Diageo with the bottles for Guinness that go into the bottles that get sent to the States. You know the way they get... If you're in America,
I know,
you get the poxiest Guinness
bottles.
going.
Yeah.
It's just poxy Guinness, right? But you get the bottles from me, you get the recommendation from himself. So it's mad. I've personally seen the growth in Guinness since you started doing what you're doing, and they have had to build, right? So here's another reference, right? So the kegs that they make in St James's Gate, right, are only purely just this Guinness here, right? But they've actually they're building a new plant just for the 0.0 on its own, right? Which is separate to there. Yeah. They have another yard. I hope the
That's nothing to do with me because I said it was shite.
No, I know, but it's purely
I know,
because of you, and the lads drink the 0.0 because they can't drive. They're obviously driving. More than likely they're going to be driving somewhere. So they're building a new plant in Kildare, apparently. Now, Diageo, please don't sue me, right? But they have put another yard along the N7, purely just to start a kegs 0.0. Like, trust me, I've seen what you have done in real life.
Well, yeah, I
know you say
I'm
you
not putting my hand up and saying that was on me.
No, I know you wouldn't say that, but I know social media. I know you, and I know what you've done for their brand, and I've seen it. I've seen it in real time. You're responsible for probably about 200 people's promotions. Do you know what I mean?
And not a fucking cent from the cunts.
Would you stop? And the taxman's still out to get us.
But it is fucking mad.
So congratulations. What I'm trying to say to you is, well done, man. Fair play. Like, I genuinely adore what you're doing.
Well, yeah, that's definitely like such a cool compliment as well when someone is like, I didn't drink Guinness I haven't drank, because you know this word influencer gets thrown around, and it's obviously such a wanky word.
I love what David McSavage says, the insta-fuck. It's fucking brilliant.
Insta-fuck, yeah. We're all insta-fucks. But like, when you get, like, you'll be getting comments every day from people, and it's not just kids who are drinking Guinness like for the first time. It's someone who be like, I'm 57 years old. I haven't drank Guinness since I was in my 20s. Yeah. Watched so many of your videos. I decided to go and have one, and I haven't drank anything else since. Because it is such a good product that once you have one, you're like, oh, that's fucking lovely.
Yeah.
So
Heineken or anything like that just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
And the maddest thing is that if you ever see clips from like years ago, I remember I was only watching something about Ireland there a few days ago, and you see the points of Guinness from 50 years ago, the head is like that skinny in them.
Oh yeah,
They look
and do you ever
ratty.
see they've got these two like big fucking bat looking sinks, and the kind of the main black stuff goes into one, and then the fucking foam comes out with another one.
So it's like popcorn at a cinema, like they dunk it in one and then dunk it the rest.
It's not even cold. Like we are so blessed. Like Guinness go on about it's like, oh, Guinness since 1859 or 1759, like 265 years, whatever. It's only been like that for about 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the shite that they used to drink the warm bottles off the shelf, that was like carbonated. It's literally only been like that, I'd say, since about the 90s.
I could only imagine the points in Gravediggers used to be dirt up until about 20 years ago. Like
honestly, like everywhere, it was just, it's unbelievable how it's the same, considered the same product, but it's completely different stuff like.
Oh, it's mental.
Yeah.
So how are you fixed for the next 12 months? Are you like, right, okay, I know where I'm going. So we were obviously talking off camera before this, and your biggest pursuit is like to, like the Guinness Guru is one empire, like, do you know what I mean? The next thing is to like pursue yourself more than anything else, like. Yeah. Or do you think it's more about yourself?
Well, see, it's always going to be about me because it's
you're the
I'm
face.
on it. Yeah. I'm the face, but like, I don't like the idea of, say, trying to boost my personal Instagram. Like, my name is obviously Daragh Curran. Obviously, a lot of people probably don't even know. But like, I'm not, like I was saying to you inside Ian, I'm not mad to like get like the Daragh Curran profile big and like say I have a missus, and we were talking about that sort of stuff as well. And it's like, my missus does Instagram stuff as well, but
your missus is like in the same industry
but
as
we
you.
kind of keep it separate. We don't like, it's not like we don't ever post each other, but I don't really use my personal Instagram. I use Guinness Guru, and going forward, I love the word, and this is no secret. Like I've always said, I'd love to build some sort of a, whether it's a media company or whatever the fuck you call it. But I love the word guru. I just think it rolls off the tongue, and it's associated with me now.
It's only 2 syllables as well. So if you're a market man, guru.
Yeah, so it's guru, and like obviously it's not a new word, but if you think of anyone else in Ireland, you know, like the word guru is quite unique. Like so. Going forward, I'll be starting like streaming and stuff and doing different types of content under the name like Guru TV. So there'll always be this sort of Guinness Guru stuff there, but that just kind of broadens it. I'd love to get into sports. I'd love to get into
because you're a big man into your ruggers, and are you into the GA or
I'm into the rugby. The GA, I have a big history in the GA. Like from Ashburn, would have played with Dunham Ashburn for years. My brother would be a great GA player.
I'd say you'd always be in midfield, would you? With
midfield or full forward.
Yeah.
Fucking wouldn't be up to much with the ball in hand, but
it'd be more fucking shutting lads out of the way.
And kind of get the ball and give it away. Like if I actually got open space, I'd probably shit my pants. Like, because I couldn't actually do it.
I meant to ask you, like, do you have brothers and sisters?
I've literally one older brother.
So only the two of you?
There's 2 of us, yeah.
And does he have any like aspect in the creative space or anything like that? Like, does he?
No, he's just fucking regular fucking lad. Like he's as fucking normal.
Obviously, I don't want you to fucking say anything.
Yeah, no, like, he wouldn't give a fuck. Like I don't get him in the videos or anything, but like it's great that I have my brother because I kind of look at him and I'm like, that's my demographic. Like just your most normal lad.
Yeah,
he loves his football, likes the odd pint, plays his GA, follows United, fucking has his life. It's great, and he's fucking happy out.
I'm in the state that you were half an hour ago. Yeah,
purple like fuck. But that's honestly, that's a great point because even some of my mates, like I have the most normal bunch of mates. Like obviously, degenerates, bunch of fucking idiots.
I tell you why I was even asking that question. I don't mean to cut across it. Sorry for that.
It, you're grand.
But like, so I grew up. We're not far off the same age. Like you're a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
But I grew up. Well, you didn't really move around a lot. When I was a kid, we moved around a lot.
I didn't move at all.
Yeah, I moved. Oh man, I was like, for lack of a better word, I was like a jippo man. I moved around. I didn't know where I'm from. I don't know where I'm from even today. Everyone always says, "Oh, you're a dub." I'm like, no, definitely not. I don't know. More a Mead man more than anything else.
That's
but
mad.
The reason why I was asking that is because like people our age, there's only usually one in every family that's a real creative, out there person. And I wouldn't have been really like that before, but I feel like I was born to do it. So like now I'm just like follow the pack. So I'm just like, that's why I'm asking, because I have a little brother that was fucking fantastic at YouTube. He was actually brilliant, like really, really good, really fucking creative, but can't keep it up.
Okay.
And the other brother also was similar, but he started out on Facebook years and years ago in the truck scene. Like, the truck scene would be big enough in Ireland.
Yeah.
So I tell you why, because I don't do cars for a reason, because no one gives a flying fuck about cars in Ireland. That's what I was about to ask you. I actually should have asked you to start. Are you into cars at all? No interest in vehiculars?
Couldn't give a
I'm surprised you even said yes to coming on. I was like, this lad's all about cars. And
you were just like, I'm in the back arse of Mead. I said, I'm Mead, fuck it, I'll go for a crack. And then I said, I'll go and do the Dundalk video and kind of tie it in. But no, don't worry about it. I drive an Opel Insignia. It's reliable. It gets me from A to B. It's a real fucking dad car, and it's great. And when I go to the mechanic and he starts telling me this, I say, just tell me what, because I trust him. I say, the fuck. I don't.
Much. See you Monday.
I'm not going to know what you're going to tell me about brake pads. Just fix it to fuck and tell me how much.
Yeah.
And I couldn't give a flying fuck about cars or a truck.
I was meant to answer that at the start, but it slipped me fucking brain because I was too busy to get into it.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I said ask you, because I could have gauged that you had no interest in the fucking vehicular space at all. To be honest with you,
Zero.
The older I get, the less I give a flying fuck about it. Especially cars anyway, because cars do nothing but get you in trouble. Like, do you know what I mean? I have a fucking Mon Deadly outside there. I had a
the Lily Oak.
The Blue Yoke. No, that thing is my missus. I'll tell you, and she is.
I didn't see the Blue Yoke.
No, that yoke, that fucking little heap of shit outside is mine. But that yoke is hers. And Jesus Christ, does your missus drive?
She's in the process. She's learning in my car. And
do you mind me asking, is she a weapon behind the wheel? Like, should she have an armed license, like, to drive around?
What's that mean?
Like, does it mean she have to have a license to carry a weapon? Like, do you know what I mean?
No, she's fucking. She's ballsy enough, like, but she's grand.
I'll tell you, my missus, like, you know the way, like, you go around the roundabout, you turn the steering wheel.
Yeah.
My missus doesn't do that. She does 90-degree turns. So, like, the thing, I'm surprised it hasn't a scrape on its roof yet. Do you know what I mean? Or it doesn't need a passenger side mirror. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, the paranoia is absolutely killing me, Daragh. My apologies. We're all fucking fantastic.
So tell me this. Oh, that's when you sit down. So tell me this. Is there... Again, I know your following is like truck based and lorry based. So I'll ask an extremely clueless question for the people who are maybe listening who have come from my side who don't know anything about trucks. Is there like, if this was a car thing, we'd be talking about the dream car?
Man, do you like the fucking wheels on that bitch?
Aston Martin, Mercedes. Is there like a cool truck, like a sexy truck that you aspire to?
Literally just here today before you arrived. So. I kind of do all sorts, as I was telling you behind the camera. Like, I don't just do what I do. I do other things as well, which will become apparent in the next year or so.
Yeah.
But up here today, I had. So you might know what it is, right? But you might not. More than likely, you won't. This thing called a Scania. Did you ever hear of a Scania before?
I know a Scania.
Did you?
You
well,
see them.
There you go.
Every fucking truck is a Scania, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go. So a friend of mine calls them the Cult.
The Cult.
The Cult Town Scanias, and they have a particular engine that's in no other vehicle at the moment, which is a V8, right? Well, it's the last manufacturer to have the V8 engine in the truck.
Okay.
And that alone is like, so put it this way, the most expensive Scania in Ireland you can buy, that's just truck on its own, no trailer, no fuck all required with it, is, you're talking €250,000.
Fucking hell.
Right? Now, put that into perspective, right? The cheapest lorry that you could buy that's an articulated lorry would be 100,000. So it's double and a half the price.
Yeah. So it's nothing. It's not like it's not extreme ends.
Fucking extreme is €150,000 the difference, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like the cheapest car you could buy is fucking $5,000.
In Ireland now it's not. It's probably about fucking 40 grand at the minute. Like, with inflation.
You mean like brand new or whatever?
Brand new, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's the cult following is the Scania. I don't have a Scania myself now. Obviously, I'm a piss poor boy. I don't have one of them. We have a couple of them in the fleet. The older brother's mad about them, but I'm mad into the sweetest Volvos. Do you know what I mean?
Volvo.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about.
Do you know what my dream car is? And I don't, like I said, I don't give a fuck about cars, but for some reason I'd love a Volvo XC90 Jeep.
Like the Jeepy?
Jeep, yeah.
They're nice,
big
man,
boy. I feel like I'm a big fella. I don't
think a Volvo would be your cup of tea, man.
Why not?
I think, man, you belong in a Range Rover. I don't know what it is. You have the Range Rover head.
Nah, it's too wanky. It's too fucking...
You're into the ruckers as well, man. You'd fit in just lovely.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I don't like I don't want a Merc or a Range Rover. Or
I know it sounds very flashy, but the Volvo are equally the same price as
I know
Range
they're
Rover.
like fucking 90, 100 grand.
Oh, they're savage, but the XC90 are a fantastic yoke.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fantastic. I can see you one now.
But I think before that...
Rocking into Diageo,
I even love...
I've come from my cash.
I even love like a Skoda Jeep.
Like, do you when it comes to cars, you literally just go, I couldn't give a flying fuck.
I've only ever bought one car.
Yeah.
I drive my Maz Yaris, and then I bought my Insignia like 4 years ago. It's great because I'm so long, and this thing just goes all the way back. Like,
yeah.
But it's just a bit of a, when I'm getting in, I literally fall into it. Like, whereas I think I'd like a Jeep at some stage.
I think, yeah, your knees would appreciate it a lot, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know,
I want to just like come out, like I want to be like this. I just want to get out like that. Instead of
so
my
like,
car is literally like
just
this.
on camera, right? Just stand up, right? I'm 6'2", yeah? So I'm a big lad, yeah? Look at the fucking height of him compared to me.
6'11", boy.
And I wouldn't even, it's pretty what, about 2 or 3 inches maybe? Ah, it's about 5.
I'd say you're more than, you've got those fucking
McQueens.
Alexander McQueens.
Right, here, I'll take them off, right?
They give you 2 inches.
I'll take them off, right? Just because I need, oh yeah, I feel the step down already. I'm waiting for you to say to me, hey, what's up, little man?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the only car I've ever looked at. And do you know when you think, oh, I wouldn't mind that, and then you start seeing them everywhere?
Yeah.
So it's the only car that I think that actually I'd strive to buy that one day.
Whenever I have a car, it's purely out of affordability, yeah. So I love my cars. I used to have real fast cars and I got loads of penalty points now when I was younger, yeah. But now I'm more like, so my missus is going around fucking spending 30 grand that doesn't even belong to me yet on a wedding. I've got this house, I've got fucking an extension I need to do, I've probably got kids on the way. No, I don't at the minute, but I will probably very soon, you know, not me.
Not announced?
Not announced, no, but like, I've got all that shit going on, so all my cars are purely based on affordability. So I had a fancy van, got rid of that because I can get married, can't afford the payments, got rid of that to fuck. Yeah. Got 2 grand on deadly, I'm happy out. I'm very happy actually, in fairness.
Yeah, because I'd be fairly like, even if I was doing really well, and I could afford like a deposit of, I don't know, 20 grand on like a 60 grand car, I'd just get something for 20 grand.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck about
how it looks,
or like, if this thing's gonna get me around, not a bother, and I don't have to fucking have payments, then why the fuck would I?
Nah, man, payments are such a false trap. And the only reason I had the van I had payments on now, it was a lovely van, it was a sporty looking van, right? Yeah. It wasn't just like an old Transit or whatever that you a few kids into the back for, or a few dead bodies into it, do you know what I mean? It was a nice one. But I had the van, and when you have a car like that and you just have no idea what you're paying for, do you know what I mean? Especially me, because I only drive the fucking thing 2 times a week. But anyway, I'm not going to fucking buy you a car chat because you couldn't give a flying fuck.
I think I got into it there.
Well, come here, I'll teach you a thing or two. What do you think about my rims on my lawnmower over there? They're nice. 20-inch, boy.
They look pretty fucking normal to me, boy.
Got them in Ashbourne fucking auto care.
As in, like, they're not supposed to be on the lawnmower? So you start talking about fucking cars, and you could be talking about the fucking lifty thing, and I wouldn't even know.
So you have no idea what a lawnmower is because you live in an apartment?
I know what a lawnmower is, but when you start trying to tell me the rims, and I was like, they look pretty fucking standard. Pretty standard spec to me.
Ah, stop.
But I have a friend who shares the sort of, he's even less into cars than me, and I remember he drives, shout out Boilo, he drives a 2000 Toyota Corolla, and it's fucking past the NCT every year, not a bother. And he's
is it like the...
It's a hatchback, it's it's
class.
Little yoke, and he's happy
it's
out
probably
with
worth about 30 grand now at the minute.
I don't know, I think he got off his granddad years ago, and he's never fucking gotten rid of it. And I remember, like I said, I'm not really into cars, but he's just not at all. And I remember pulling up beside this big, lovely Jeep, and I said, "Just that's a nice Jeep, isn't it?" And he goes, "It's got 4 wheels and it goes."
He couldn't give less of a shite, like.
And so does this. So
yeah. Ah, that's gas. Right, well, come here. I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I'm sure the hangover's probably hitting you hard at the moment, isn't it?
I'm a bit to piss myself as well, so yeah. It's a good time to finish in.
Yeah, but no, not about it. Daragh, thanks a million for coming
Absolute
up.
pleasure.
And lads, I thought this, whenever the next podcast comes out, can't guarantee when it'll be or who's going to be on it, but yeah, Daragh, thanks a million for coming on it. I really appreciate you.
No problem.
And thanks for coming all the way from Dundalk. Okay. What do you think of Dundalk anyway?
Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, as I was watching your stories and you were saying...
Serious points in Dundalk. We're the fucking Green Ore Bar, which is a great bar, nice big open bar. And then Tata's, which is also known as O'Carroll's, was a nice little cozy spot. The fire was on, lovely. And then last one was, I was going to go to the wee house, And then so many, because I was like, I'm just doing 3, and then so many people in the town had told me to go to McKeown's instead, so I switched it up.
And did you go? Because I seen
there was
a bit of
I went to McKeown's,
yeah.
We House got shafted, unfortunately, but I have my places to go because of what people recommend on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I'm also open, if enough people in the town say a certain spot, then I'll change, because they know. They're from the place.
Yeah, exactly,
so,
yeah. Well, that's it. That's brilliant. That's all. Daragh, again, sounder.
See you, lads.
Stay tuned for the creamers. Good luck. Thank you very much, my man.
That was great. No.